The method we like to use for cell building, for raising queen cells, is called the cloak board method, and we're going to describe the way we use that cloak board. Lots of different ways of doing it, but we developed a system that works pretty well for us. So I'd like to demonstrate that it is rather confusing. There's lots of different steps, but we'll try to convey that information to you. I'd like to first of all go through the basic setup of the hive, list all the components, and later on we'll describe what each of those are used for. So starting at the bottom, we have the normal bottom board down here, and then a wood-rimmed queen excluder, and then a normal brood chamber with no entrance hole in it. We actually take any entrance hole shut. Then above that, we have another queen excluder, wood-rimmed queen excluder. We use wood because the edges aren't bent and there's no leaks to the outside. And then this is the cloak board that you'll see a little bit more later. It's a frame that has a groove all the way around the inside of it, so this metal piece can slide in and slide out. As you can see, it's in the out position right now. Above that, we have another queen excluder, another brood chamber with the entrance hole taped shut, another wood-rimmed queen excluder, and then a hive top here. There are reasons for all of these queen excluders, but it basically has to do with preventing queens from moving around from place to place. What we do when we're setting it up is we make sure the queen is down in the bottom box, so she's there right now. And in the top box, we're going to prepare to accept the grafts that we're going to put in, the graft frame that we'll be putting in tomorrow. So we do this job, and then the next day is our graft day. And then 2 days after our graft day, we pull this slide out into this position. And we do this on a weekly schedule. So every week, we do the cell builder preparation on Monday, the graft on Tuesday, and the slides come out on Thursday. And then we repeat that process the next week. If we keep managing this, we can do run the cell builder all summer long and produce queens throughout the summer, like our little queen machine here. So we'll get started. First thing we're going to do is find the queen in the bottom brood chamber. So take the hive apart. We do get a little rough with the bees here, not rough, but we are shaking things around, so I'll be putting the veil on here. So you can see the cloak board. There's the grooves all around there, and we're just going to put this in the closed position. We'll wiggle around a bit to get it all freed up. At the beginning of the season, we put Vaseline in these grooves to help prevent the bees from propolizing it shut, so it's relatively easy to move in and out. At the end of this video, we'll show you why we're using all these queen excluders, but now we're ready to find the queen. We make sure that these cell builders have young queens, so there are less issues with supersedure, and we make sure the queens are marked because we're finding them every week in amongst a whole mess of other bees. There she is. Okay, what we'll be doing is shaking all of the bees from this box into a new box over here. And this box is a frame of foundation and a graft frame in it, all ready to go. So we put those frames into place and we shake 10 frames from this box, which is the bottom box, and then we shake 5 frames from the top box into here. So we're condensing a lot of bees into that top box so that they're in a good position to be able to raise the queens. As we're doing this, we shake every frame off, even the 5 that will stay in here, we shake those bees off as well, but we shake them into the bottom box here. So every frame, all these are completely removed frames so that we can check them to see if they're raising any of their own cells on the brood combs. We have to destroy those cells because if they hatch out, they'll destroy the queens that we're trying to raise. So that's a critical thing. We need to do that once a week to prevent that from happening. We call them row cells or wild cells, the ones that they raise on the brood comb, and we have to be very, very careful not to miss even one of them. So now we have the whole crew, and we'll get set up to shake these frames and get going. So just take these frames out of the bottom brood chamber. The young bees tend to be stationed down there because there's lots of young brood, and we want those young bees now up into the cell building box. We give those a sharp shake, and then we pass them over to Brooke, and Brooke's going to check for queen cups like this. We don't even bother looking to see if they're eggs, and we just destroy anything that looks like a queen cell. And Brooke, you show David how you tip the frame there. And look, and you can see up into this hole here, and that makes it really easy to see them. But we kind of just check the whole thing over and pinch them off and destroy them. Once she's checked that frame over, she then passes it over to Dave, and he does a double check to make sure that there's no queen cells there. We find it's important to have 2 people looking. They are really focused because they know somebody's going to check up on, and it's absolutely critical that we don't miss one. Dave then sorts the frames out into brood or food source, and that makes it a little bit easier later when we're putting the frames back in. All the frames come out of the hive, are shaken off before we put any of them back into the hive. So we'll shake another frame, pass it over, remove any cells or cups. We usually have several people doing this first stage of checking for the cells and cups, and then only one person doing the double checking. We have a team of people working at this. It goes very quickly, and we do run multiple cell builders. So we're just showing you doing one cell builder, but as soon as we're done one, we'll move on to doing the others, and we run 2 to 3 cell builders per week, and that gives us 100 to 150 cells per week. We saw a little earlier were queen cups, so they're made of eggs, and they're just the cups. These are cells right here, and they're not that. They may even be further ahead than are the queens that we're in this colony, so we definitely have to destroy them. I count 9 of those cells, half cells on this frame alone. So we just pull those off and destroy them, and move on and get the other 7. But there are quite a few here, so we have to check through and get all of them. So now we'll go through the rest of the hive, shake all these frames into this box, we'll shake half these frames into this box, and then we'll kind of wrap up the end, just putting the frames back into place. One frame we haven't looked at yet is the graft frame from last week. So we look through here and we count the number of cells. Just looking along the bottom here, you can see that's nicely drawn. There's a miss. There's another good one, another good one, another good one. So we count these to see how well we've done. And but those, once we've counted them, we just put them into the cell builder in the second position. That position there. And then we put a frame with foundation next to them. So there's honey frame here, the graft frame, and then a frame with foundation. We're trying to discourage the bees from building an excess comb around those queen cells. Now we'll move over these frames, so we've got to take it out. We're shaking most of these off them, or probably all of them, and then we check them for cells, and then we sort them out. Dave's got all 3 frames here, 12 of them, and these are honey frames. Some of which we'll use, some of which we'll take out of the hive to provide more empty space for bees to build comb, lay eggs, and so on. So we'll just take these frames out, and what I'm looking for is to see whether there's any young larvae or not in them. This one has some taproot that's hatching out, some taproot here that's hatching out, but no young larvae. So they go up into the top box. We don't want a lot of larvae in here to compete with the graft larvae for food, but we do find one frame that has just a little bit of young brood on it, so open brood, and we put that right next to the graft frame so that the nurse bees are stationed right next to the graft frame. We'll put this graft frame, we'll put in the new one, we'll be putting into the central space. And we're just putting that in there to have the bees polish those cups. And if you watch our video on grafting, you'll see what those polished cups look like. So we put that in there, and that stays in there for 24 hours. On one side of it, we put a frame that's got just a little bit of young brood, and on the other side of it, we put a frame that's got a lot of pollen in there. So all the resources they need to raise queens are stationed at that location. We'll just carry on transferring frames over. It's got some emerging brood on it, but no young brood. This one, it's the same thing, a lot of older brood on here, emerging bees, but no young brood. So by putting this up here, we're guaranteeing there's going to be more young bees up in position there. The young bees are the ones that are the nurse bees that feed the queens. This one has very little cap brood on it, so I'm going to put it down in the bottom box near the outside. It's mostly honey. This frame has a very small amount of open brood, but the perfect one is stationed right beside the graft frame to get those nurse bees over there. And now I just need to find a pollen frame to put in this position here. I expect the rest of these have young brood on them, which they do, that's full of young brood, so it goes down here in the bottom box. That one's pretty much just a bit of nectar. Oh, some eggs on that one, but mostly honey or nectar, so I'll go near the outside. Undecided on that frame, just point, it's mostly caproot, very little young. Some young brood, kind of next frame there. A lot of young brood on that one, so it's down here. And lots of young brood, kind of next so. So we put those all in the middle here, all the brood frames. Snug that one up because it has some eggs on it. And now we can fill up this with empty frames or foundation frames. We can give the queen lots of room to lay here. Mostly empty there. And more empty comb here. So we're giving the queen lots of space to lay eggs. We can then introduce that queen, or reintroduce her rather. So down she goes. And we put the first queen excluder in place. This keeps the queen from getting up into the top box and destroying cells. Then we put our clipboard into position. And we put our second queen excluder into place here. Queen excluders on either side of the top box are used to prevent any virgins emitting air from flying in and destroying our cells. Virgins are looking for a queenless home sometimes, and so this would be disproportionately queenless, so it's quite attractive to virgins, and they can come in and destroy all the work we've done. So we use that to keep them out. We put the frame that's got pollen. This is a pollen frame here. We're going to put that right next to the queens. We'll put in our last brood frame here, and then we put a queen excluder on top here, and our pollen pad. Small strips of bees out of the way there. And there you can see a nice big fat pollen patty. It's made of pure pollen and sugar syrup. Gives the bees all the protein they need to be feeding those baby queens. I like to have it on top of the queen excluder because then when we need to get into this box, we can just lift it up without having to mess around with that pollen pad. So we'll transfer this box over, and I'll put it in this position here now. You hold that. All these. Lots of resources. Then we put our feeder in position up here. That was a very fat pollen patty, so I'm going to switch it down a little bit. And then, without knocking those bees off, we'll lift this air cover up. We do have straw in here, so the bees have floats to walk on to get that syrup without grounding. And we pour a little bit of sugar syrup in. How much we put in depends on what kind of nectar flow is happening. We drill a little down through the crack in the middle and get them going. And that'll be enough there. We've got good nectar flow happening right now. And we'll set that into place there. Spread it out any bees. And put the lid back on top of the colony. That's the process. Tomorrow, we're going to come back, take the feeder off, take the queen excluder off, remove the graft frame that's in there to be polished, graft into that frame, put it back in position within an hour, close the hive up, and then 2 days later, we come along and we pull that slide out about halfway. Finish that for now. So what happens here is these are queenless, they can't smell a queen because of this slide here, and we're taking advantage of 2 impulses to get them to raise queens. Swarm tendency, so lots of bees cause that, and supersedure, an emergency supersedure since they can't smell a queen. When we pull this slide out, it allows the bees to sort of normalize within the colony, and they continue to raise those queens on only the swarm impulse. We find we get pretty good results using this method. A lot of steps to it, but once you get going at it and work out some efficiencies, it goes pretty quickly, and we're quite happy with it. There's more information about this system in the Ontario Beekeepers Association Queen Room Manual, so you can read more information about that at that point. The last point I want to mention is what we do at the very beginning of this process is we bring in 2 very strong colonies from other yards and set them up in this position. We put one colony with the entrance facing to the back, the other colony with the entrance facing to the front. We remove one queen and leave the best queen there and unite these 2 brood chambers with newspaper. And then within about a week, we then set it up like this with all the queen excluders and the clipboard and so on. But this way they have 2 entrances. They have an entrance here and they have an entrance at the back, which we have a reducer in because we want those bees to feel really crowded and congested inside the hive. So we have a reducer on the back. There are 2 entrances for the bees to get in there. That's all I have to say about this at the moment, but we keep evolving the system to try and improve it, and it is a work in progress. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.